It was supposed to be a day of thrill and spectacle. Military jets slicing the air, leaving colored vapor trails. The crowd applauding beneath warm summer sunshine. But on 28th August 1988, at the United States Air Force Base near Kaiserslautern, West Germany, that illusion shattered. In a single, horrifying instant, a mid-air crash sent a flaming wreckage flying towards spectators. About 300,000 spectators gathered that Sunday for Flug Tag 88, Flight Day. The highlight act was Italy's elite aerobatic team, the Frecce Tricolori. 10 sleek Ermaci MB-339 pan jets performing one of their most complex maneuvers, Il cuore infranto, the pierced heart. Two formations of aircraft would loop toward each other, drawing a heart in the sky with colored smoke. Then, at the perfect moment, a single solo jet, Pony 10, would shoot through the center, symbolically piercing the heart. It was meant to be beautiful, romantic, daring. The announcer's voice echoed over the loudspeakers. Engines screamed, cameras clicked. The crowd leaned forward as the heart began to take shape. At 15:44 local time, Lieutenant Colonel Ivo Nutarelli, flying Pony 10, dove toward the heart too fast and too low. He clipped Pony 1, flown by Lieutenant Colonel Mario Naldini, severing its tail. In that same instant, Naldini's jet veered into Pony 2, piloted by Captain Giorgio Alessio. 3 aircraft disintegrated in mid-air, scattering burning debris across the runway and into the packed crowd below. The collision, explosion, and impact all happened in less than 7 seconds. Nutarelli's jet, now a fireball, slammed into the crowd at over 300 kilometers per hour. The shockwave flattened spectators, tore through fences, and engulfed cars in flames. 3 pilots died instantly. On the ground, 67 civilians were killed immediately, and hundreds more were maimed or burned beyond recognition. One eyewitness recalled, "The sky went red. It was like the sun had fallen on us." Fuel from the jets ignited instantly, creating a wall of flame over 100 meters long. People ran in every direction, some trying to help, others simply trying to escape. Shoes melted into tarmac. Cameras, strollers, flags, all gone in seconds. Those closest to the impact zone stood no chance. Some victims were killed by debris, others by fire, and many more by inhaling superheated air. Emergency teams rushed in, but the confusion was total. Many medical staff were American military with limited coordination with German responders. Radio frequencies jammed, ambulances were blocked by fleeing vehicles, and helicopters struggled to land amid the smoke. In hospitals across Kaiserslautern and Ramstein, burn units overflowed. In total, 70 people died, 67 civilians, and the 3 pilots, and more than 500 were injured, many permanently disfigured.
The investigation began quickly and focused on both the pilot's performance and the show's safety design. The maneuver had been performed before, but Ramstein's layout placed the crowd directly in front of the flight path, a fatal oversight. According to later reports, Frecce Tricolori had requested a larger separation zone but were denied because of viewing constraints. Nutarelli's approach angle was slightly miscalculated, possibly due to visual distortion at low altitude. At just 45 meters above the ground, there was no room for correction. Additionally, a breakdown in emergency preparedness. Although large, the event lacked full coordination between German civilians and U.S. military responders, delaying critical care. When the flames finally died, rescue teams faced a scene of devastation rarely seen outside war. Charred remains lay beside untouched picnickers' blankets. Cars melted into the tarmac. Parents searched for their children. Many survivors later described the sound of sirens and screams blending together like an endless echo. Over the following weeks, burn victims were airlifted to specialized hospitals across Germany. Some died from infection and shock. Others endured years of skin grafts and reconstructive surgery. Counseling programs were created for survivors and emergency workers, marking one of the first major uses of trauma response teams in European civilian disaster history. The German government and the U.S. Air Force jointly reviewed airshow safety. Crowd distances were increased, flight paths re-angled away from spectators, and altitude limits raised. No airshow in Germany ever allowed aircraft to fly directly over the audience again. The crowd is long since gone. The base remains, quieter now. On that airfield, beneath new paint and grass, the scars still lie buried. Each August, locals leave flowers at the memorial stone. 70 names carved in metal.